Stop, turn off this video right now. If you are a person who thinks that this is not possible, you are going to waste your time. I'm dead serious. This video is only for people who think that what I'm sharing right now is possible. I'm 100% upfront and honest with you. If you are ready to put in the work, you can look better in your 40s or 50s or 60s than in your 20s, 30s or 40s. Pick whatever number you want. You can look a decade younger if you take care of your body, and I'm gonna give you the proper tools in this video. And if you're over 40 and you want to become strong, fit, and lean without going to the gym twice as fast, then download my free ebook in the first link in the description. Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe Stark here. In this video, I've compiled 6 powerful steps that have helped me as well as our clients to get into their shape of their life. And let me start off by saying, no, your metabolism does not slow down as you age. There's a very interesting study that I've talked about often on this channel that says our metabolism stays the same until we are 60 years old. And even from that point on, it only loses about 1% per year of steam. Now, does that mean that you might have a slower metabolism compared to somebody else? Yes, that might be so. But at the end of the day, nobody really cares because you run your own race. You live in your own body. You have a set of tools and a set of capabilities, abilities, as well as limitations and a deck of cards that you have to play. Nobody else is responsible for your failure or for your success. I might sound like a teacher, but I mean it. And a little disclaimer right from the get-go. Just because you're watching this YouTube video doesn't mean that something's gonna happen. Do not fall into the trap of thinking that just because you watched it, your brain then automatically computes it as the problem solved. No, some people buy a weight loss book and then their brain tells them after the purchase or the transaction has been completed, oh, problem solved. I have now bought the book. No, you gotta put in the work, and it's going to take time. And this leads us to step number 1, the right mindset. You gotta turn off the naysayers, people who do not believe that this is possible. If you poison your ears, your eyes, and maybe even your nose with what people who have a negative outlook on life have to say, you are going to lose. Human beings are social creatures. We'd like to belong to a tribe. And if you want to belong to a tribe that is failing, you won't be the one producing any type of results. So you got to limit conversations with these people, even if it's family members, and make sure that you are on the right track to success and that is turning off people who project their negative emotions and their negative outlook on life and maybe their failures and pains. You know, we all have a rucksack. I do understand. They maybe carry some heavy burdens and heavy rocks with them. This is totally fine. This is their life. But do not let what these people have to say, that negative outlook on life, impact what you are going to do. You also have to be ready for hardship. Putting in the work, lifting these weights, even if they're not that heavy. High intensity is critical, and it is not easy to do. Sometimes you'll wake up and your body's telling you, you know what, I don't feel like moving. And especially in today's day and age that we live in, where everything comes pretty handy and you don't have to do anything. It's all served to you on a silver platter. You purchase it now and it's delivered to you in an hour. This quick and fast, this get rich quick scheme life that we live nowadays. Hardships are almost like a disease, but they are necessary in order for you to grow. Sometimes stuff has to die before it can grow into something strong, beautiful, and awesome. So be ready to undertake these hardships and get ready to tackle them because they are required. Pain is a necessity, and I talk about the good kind of pain, not the pain that destroys you to move forward. You have to make tough decisions. You have to say no very often. You must Tell your friends, listen, I'm on a mission. I gotta do this. I wanna do this. And either you support me or you leave me alone. Two choices. This might sound like a tough decision in and all by itself, but it is the truth. When people look at me, our clients, my family members, people who know me, people who know what I do, and even our audience, do you think that these people come up and say, Gregory, why don't you grab a beer? Why don't you take this cigarette? Why don't you take these drugs that I have? Not that, my family members would offer me that stuff. But what I'm trying to say is I have already built my DNA into this person and this personality that I am because I live and breathe this stuff. Therefore, people know I'm not going to offer something destructive to a person who lives a lifestyle that is already winning. And this takes time. You might have to build that lifestyle over the years or over the months. And then once you have finally accomplished it, people understand, all right, you are a beacon of hope or fitness or love or empathy or whatever that might be, and your body reflects it, and then people will understand. But until then, you have to make tough decisions and say no very often. You have to keep a clear focus as well. When you have a goal, do not be distracted by other stuff. I have that too. I have the shiny object syndrome. I try to complete something and then I see something sparkling in the distance and then I leave what I'm working at, jump on that other stuff because I believe it's going to give me a shortcut or a magic bullet. While that may not be in the fitness realm, I have that issue too in other realms of life. And I had to learn the hard way that the basics work. They're not sexy. They're boring. Sometimes it even makes you want to quit. Sometimes you think this is not worth it. Sometimes you might believe, I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like doing the same exercise again. I don't feel like, even if it's a variation, do the same variation of this exercise because I heard coach A, B, C, D that it's way easier than what I do right now. So then I turn into a program hopper. No, keep clear focus. The grass is not greener on the other side. You gotta maintain clarity as well. These two things go hand in hand. Clarity is power. If you have a clear vision, you know exactly where to go. Nobody is able to stop you. You're moving forward like a weight train. This is a requirement for you to reach your goals. Because if you're constantly distracted by other things that jump into your focus, you're going to lose. It's like driving a car. Just because a bird is flying right in front of you or somebody is crossing the street does not mean that you all of a sudden are and you're scared and you don't know where to go. No, you see that in your peripheral vision and you might react to it, but you still stay on course. Do not compare yourself to other people, not to the younger folks, not to people who are genetically completely built differently than you are, because this is futile. This is a waste of your time. If you look at somebody who's built bigger, they have bigger shoulders, they're larger human beings, and they look differently and they can lift more weights, this is their game. And even if it's maybe vice versa, you're a big person and you look somebody who's always lean, you're like, I want to be like this. Forget this. You have your cards that you have been dealt. God has given you these cards and you have to play them. And if you always try to look at somebody else, which by the way is not allowed, you can't look into somebody else's cards, you are going to lose. Work with your body and not against it. Yes, building muscle and looking great as you age is also a question of your genetics. But again, even if you didn't win the genetic lottery, I do not consider myself to be a winner of the genetic lottery. If I was, I'd probably be an athlete in the Olympics right now winning gold medals. But I'm not. I'm just a normal person who shows up to do the work. And if you think that you have to look like somebody else while your body is clearly telling you that this is not your possibility, this does not lay in the realm of possibilities of what your body can produce, then you're fighting against it. And if you fight against your biggest and strongest ally that you have, your body, again, it's not going to work. Step number 2, strength training. If we want to grow, if we want to build muscle, if we want to look better, if we want to look a decade younger, we have to set a stimulus. We have to tell our body, all right, you have to adapt and you have to change. And we do this with resistance training. We need to use some weight to challenge our bodies. It has to be proper, it has to be solid, and we have to be careful how to use that particular training modality. The one particular training modality that I use is the kettlebell. I believe is the best tool. It is the best tool for over 40s, 50s, and 60s who want to change their life. I don't say this just for fun. I don't say this because I thought about it, because I'm assuming this. I say this because data is proving this on our channel, with our clients, and we have seen massive success since we have only focused on this particular age group. The kettlebell is so powerful. It builds muscle, it builds strength, it takes care of your mobility, flexibility, and it strengthens the midsection right here. Many people have issues. They have pain in the hips, pain in the shoulders, pain everywhere. They have lost joint integrity, ligament strength, and this is exactly where the kettlebell comes in. Plus, it is handy, it is versatile. You pick this thing up and you train everywhere. We have beautiful weather outside, so this means today I'm going to go outside, grab 2 kettlebells, and do a solid workout. This thing beats everything in terms of efficiency. It grants you results without wasting time, effort, energy, and money. So the one workout that I would recommend to you is fairly simple. We combine body weight with kettlebells. So we have the first 2 exercises is a push-up and a squat, and we do 10 reps per exercise. This is the first part of the workout. The push-up looks like this. I set up myself in a sprawl position, lower my body, and come back up. If this is too tough for you, knees down, anchor your toes into the floor, down and up. Once you have 10 reps, you stand up, relax, shake it off, and then it's 10 body weight squats. Once you have completed both of these exercises, 10 push-ups and 10 squats, you have 1 set, and you do 3 sets total if you're starting out. Once you have advanced, you move up to 5 sets total. Part number 2 is the kettlebell, and we're going to do beastly exercises that take care of everything that your body needs. Exercise number 1 is the clean and press. I clean the kettlebell close to my body, press it overhead, rack it back down, clean it to relax the arm, and we repeat the same thing. A full body exercise that takes care of everything, and we do 10 reps per side. Once we have done 10 reps per side, we do clean and squat. So we clean, we squat down, we stand back up, and clean again. And the beautiful thing about working with one side only means that my other side is always active because of the unilateral approach. And then the final exercise is the snatch. I swing the kettlebell between my legs and fixate it overhead, and then I drop it back down. These are some complex exercises that take time to learn, but don't worry about your form. Grab a lighter weight. If you're a woman, an 8 kg. If you're a man, a 12 kg. Get started, get some proper information, and do these exercises. The workout schedule is fairly simple. Like I said, 10 reps per side, clean and press right, clean and press left, then 10 reps per side with the clean and squat, and then snatch 10 reps per side. We want to do these exercises as unbroken as possible in a circuit. Once we have done all 3 exercises, we have 1 round, and we do 3 rounds total. This is the exact powerful workout that I use as well to build muscle, to get stronger. And the beautiful thing about this, you don't need to sign up for a gym membership. You don't have to do strange, stupid, or boring exercises. This thing delivers results ASAP. And just in case if you're wondering what kind of kettlebell I'm using, it's the Pro Kettlebell by my friend Nikolai Puchlov, proudly made in the USA. There's 5 things that I love about the Pro Kettlebell. Number 1, the contoured arm pockets that fit well on the clean as well as with the snatch. This means beginners will feel right at home and professionals can get rid of their calluses on their forearms. The second thing I love is the high quality texture finish on the handle, which doesn't turn your hands into hamburger meat when you do lots of swings and ballistics in general. And this also means that you don't have to use a lot of chalk. Number 3 is the ergonomics. The Pro kettlebell is a little bit smaller than the standard competition kettlebells, which means the weight sits closer to your center of mass. You feel it in the rack position, and you get that immediate superflow feeling when you engage into the ballistics. Number 4 is the wide hollow core base, which makes it a safe option if you do kettlebell exercises on the floor, such as a handle push-up. Number 5 is the second grip because of the wide hollow core base, which lets you do curls and presses and exercises that you can't do with other kettlebells. There are even more benefits, such as a safe option of a magnetic weight chip that you can add inside the hollow core base of your kettlebell and make it heavier. Check the link in the description to get your Pro kettlebell right now. And don't forget to use our code Lebe to get 10% off your next purchase. Step number 3, what you put into your body reflects on the outside. I'm gonna make this very simple for you. You take your body weight in kilograms, multiply it by 24 times 1.3, and then add a couple of calories in form of protein on top of it, and there you go. You have a great muscle building schedule in terms of eating proper and solid foods. How can you deliver the macros? Very simple. Proteins up, refined sugar down, and healthy fats up. Stop eating out too often. Do not hang out with your friends, chug a couple of beers, and then eat a pizza late at night, because that day you've already probably eaten enough calories. So make sure you avoid that stuff. You don't have to avoid it like the plague. You can go eat out sometimes, but don't overdo it, don't exaggerate it, because you cannot control what you eat. And when you are in a social circle with folks who do not care about the goals that you have, you are probably going to lose, especially if you're just building these strong new habits right from the get-go. You have to cut back on sweets and treats, or maybe salt. Depends on what you have. I have a sweet tooth. I know exactly that candy is a big issue for me. I can't have that stuff in my house. If I do have it in my house, I think about it all the time. I have to engage into some mental gymnastics to avoid it until so-called disinhibition is happening in my brain, where I give up and I say, who cares? I'm eating that stuff. Here we go. I have these so-called red light foods that I have to monitor, that I can't behave myself around responsibly. So if I eat some candy or some treats or whatever have you, I know it's going to be a small packet that I go out and buy, I come back, I eat it, and it's gone. It's not in my house anymore. Step number 4, supplements. Do not get carried away by brands who want to make money off of your insecurities or off of your frustration because you're not getting the results you're looking for. None of the supplements that I'm sharing right now that I take are the main reason why I look like this. The main reason is I show up to work for the training, and I make sure that my main diet, the stuff that I eat, the normal foods, are in line. So if you're eating supplements, think about what the word supplement really means. Supplement means you're adding something on top of it that is already complete. If you add something on top of it that is not complete, you're making a mistake. It's a logical fallacy. You got to go back to the drawing board and make sure that the basics that you're working with have to be complete. Now here's my supplement stack, fairly easy. I have whey protein, I use some creatine, I use some vitamins and some omega-3s. And an additional supplement that I started taking a couple of months back was collagen, because I saw some interesting research that seems to back up the claim that it's good for the skin. Number 5, manage stress and sleep. Sleep is fairly simple. Try to stay away from this thing before you go to sleep, and try to darken the room as much as you can. I'm not an expert on this. It's just some basic stuff that I do to help me improve my sleep. Sometimes I sleep better, sometimes I sleep worse, but we have to think about that recuperation, rest, and sleep. This is where the adaptations are happening. It's not when we train. This is a stimulus, but then we have to give our body enough time and enough means to recuperate and grow. Stress is not easy to answer, but what I have found is when I reduce my screen time on this thing, I experience less stress because I stop comparing myself to other people. I stop reading negative headlines that wire my brain into a state where I believe that tomorrow the world explodes. So I turn into some sort of nihilism where you think like, what is it worth it? I mean, the world burns anyway. I try to keep these information, that part of information, as limited as possible, only take in what is necessary. And sometimes I do better, sometimes I do worse, but I have found that this reduces my level of stress massively. Of course, there's additional layers of stress like dealing with aging parents and having kids. And there are opportunities for you to manage your stress levels that you have to find out by yourself. Step number 6, cut alcohol and smoking. A lot of people don't want to hear this, but alcohol and tobacco is poison for your body, poison for your skin, poison for your muscles, poison for your brain. It makes you do stuff that you can't remember the next day, especially if you had too much alcohol. And liquid calories are the devil. This is something that you need to avoid as much as possible. Think about this. If you drink too much, you opt in for lots of calories. Let's just say you drink 200 or 300 calories worth of alcohol. If you eat 200 or 300 calories from munching and sending it down your stomach and giving it some time so that it can digest, this is work involved. At least you'll feel these calories. But the liquid calories are not felt. They are a silent fat maker. You do not understand and you don't even feel its effects once it's too late. And for smoking, you know the drill. It kills your skin, it kills your lungs, you smell. And of course, if you're trying to put your body into a position where you want it to grow, smoking has no place in it. I'm giving you tough love. If you want to keep alcohol in your life, smoking in your life, sweets, treats, having a night out, being very social, that's totally fine. If you can limit it, but many people cannot limit it. And if you belong into that category, and you want both things, you want to look good, you want to look 10 years younger, but you still want to have all these benefits of the typical life that many people lead, then I'm here to inform you that this is not going to work. You have to make that decision and understand this is the road that I'm trying to go, or this is the road that I'm trying to go. It's either A or B. There's unfortunately nothing in between, and if it is, it has to be monitored. It makes sense to work then with a coach and make sure that you keep a focus on your goal and then slowly building back these negative habits. This again also takes time, but the essence of the video is telling you that it is possible and it requires tough decisions and hard work, and if you're ready to put in the work, you will reap those benefits. Here's the next thing that you have to do. Clean and press that like and subscribe button. Share with a friend who's also interested in kettlebells. And if you made it this far, download my free ebook in the first link in the description. If you're over 40, 50, or 60 and you want to look 10 years younger, you have seen in this video that I make a big emphasis on kettlebells. And if you're looking for a shortcut, because I believe that's one of the best tools for over 40s, 50s, and 60s, then I have one for you right in my free ebook in the first link in the description.